for Arsenal fans just in London and maybe Newcastle. Could be, maybe. Yeah. Friday means it's the Easter talk, and of course, the Easter talk means it is Friday. Sorry that we're a little bit late, but that's just the Canon Foley TV way, isn't it? But we are here. We've got some topics, some hot topics, controversial topics. You'll have to wait and see on the other side of this music intro. Yeah, controversial. Do we do Tony, do we do controversial over here on Canon Foley TV? Do we?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I don't even know how to spell controversial. So don't even ask me.
No disclosures over here.
Where's that waiver? I'll sign another waiver. Where is it?
I think it would be when you keep when you have the breaking news. And then you breaking news, he's got to announce.
Cheers,
downhill from there, isn't it?
Anyway, you can see it's going to be an interesting easy talk over here. Let's see if we can kind of knock this one out of the park inside an hour. There's the enforcer is back in the house. A regular face, mind you, on a big Sunday show. Des, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me on. It's a privilege, and it's good to meet Tony. First time I've been on with Tony. So it'll be good to share some point of view and either agree or disagree, respectfully, of course. But keep the chat going, guys. Get your questions in, your comments, whatever, and let's have a good one.
Nice one. And Tony is here as well. We haven't had to, discipline any children.
I'm sorry that waiver is mistake. Where's my pen?
Anyway, let's crack on with the show. Actually, within a few hours today, I've heard some news in regards to this youngster, Bukayo Saka. Yes, reaches verbal agreement to extend Arsenal contract until 2028. Yeah, the news represents a huge boost for the Premier League leaders. With Saka extending contract due to expire next summer. Tony, your thoughts on this news? Bukayo Saka.
I'm not getting excited until he signs the dotted line. I'm not getting involved. I don't get it. Obviously, it's the news we want to hear that he's signed, but until leave me out, bro, because I know far too often of a guy who's willing to sign a contract who didn't end up signing a contract.
Yeah, right. All right. So before I go to Des, are you surprised it's taken so long for him or the club to get to this point? Starboy.
I'm not surprised. I expect everything I. Yeah, it was talked about last year, 2 seasons. We're now in the 22-23 season, and it's still being talked about. Yeah. In the 23-24 season. That's my short. That's my feeling. Right. It's good season.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Des.
Well, it's a way to get the fans going again, isn't it? You know what I mean? And like Tony's absolutely hit the nail on the head. Don't get excited yet. Wait till we sign the thing. Yeah. At the end of the day, right? It's a way to get the fans excited and talking about it again. But on a serious note, what other team in the Premiership or in Europe would treat Bukayo like Arsenal do? I don't think they would treat him the same as we treat him. He is star boy. He doesn't. Let's be honest. He hardly ever misses a match. You know, and the thing is, if he goes to another team, he's got to fight with egos. With Arsenal, he hasn't got so many egos to fight with.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
he might get a bit of rest. He might get a bit of rest though for 60 minutes in other teams.
And that is controversial, Tony.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point, Tony. But the boys should also be getting some protection from the rest and all that. I mean, you could chuck all that in, couldn't you? It's a massive pot when it comes to Saka. You could chuck lots of things in, but you're totally right. He might get a rest, but as I say, the lad needs protection from the rest. He's not getting it. So, you know.
Des, but do you think? Again, I'm just making an assumption here. Do you think the hold-up is he's waiting to see where Arsenal finish at the end of the season, and then he might sign on the dotted line? Is he just,
no. I think it's me personally, my personal opinion. I think it's just trying to get the best deal for him. I don't think he's waiting until the end of the season because he's enjoying his football, Alex. So, you know, all right. If you compare it to the Martinelli situation, Martinelli was holding the pen and wanted the contract to come to him straight away. Do you know what I mean? But I think it's more of a case of the best deal for him. I mean, it could be a money thing. It could be a, you know, as you say, a controversial. So I don't know. But I think he's just trying to get the best deal for him.
Yeah. Anyway, I tried my best to be controversial when Tony wasn't going for it, man. He wasn't going for it.
you nearly hooked him.
Well, if that one didn't work, maybe this one might shift some blood cells. I don't know, which player have we missed the most? Now, Tony, I know when you first came on Cannon 42, you said, listen, Thomas Partey is the player that makes the team tick. But surely we've been missing Gabriel Jesus. No?
Friend, so can't say we've really missed him.
What? That's controversial.
Did we lose a game without Jesus? Did we win a load of games? Yeah. Did we lose a game when Thomas? You know, look, we're happy about the Jorginho performance last week, and we can only tomorrow against Leicester.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, boys. I'm definitely preferring missing Gabriel Jesus to Thomas Partey.
Wow. Okay.
I want Thomas to stay.
Wow. Okay.
I wasn't expecting that. I thought you were going to be Partey, Tony, to be honest.
No.
There you go.
Then your thoughts, Des, you know. You think.
I don't want to sound boring, but I'm agreeing with Tony again. I think we've missed Jesus more. The thing about Partey, and you know, Alex, you've known me for quite a while now. I've never really been Partey's biggest fan. And it just seems in the biggest matches, he always disappears. Right? Even though he plays well in that midfield, and you can say that until the cows come home, in the biggest matches, Man City, we needed him. And he wasn't there, you know? And it happened last season. Big matches last season, he wasn't there. Jesus, different kettle of fish, I know. But let's be honest, Martinelli's been missing him. And Jesus just brings something different. He knows how to chase things down. He knows how to, you know, scare a defender. He can spin on a sixpence. Yeah, I think we've missed Jesus. And I know people can throw, but he didn't score one in, was it 10?
Yeah.
You know? But he could. The thing is, who's more likely to score? Jesus or Partey? And you definitely say Jesus.
Jesus. Yeah.
So I think we've missed Jesus more than actually. And to be fair, to be absolutely fair, because we've had to be fair to Eddie stepping in. Yeah, you've got to be fair to Jorginho. He stepped in and he's done a good job, I think.
Des, does a Jesus go straight back into the first team when he's fully fit?
Controversial again, and now I'm genuinely being genuine here now, right? For me, if Eddie keeps playing the way he's playing, I think he does. If Eddie scores before he comes back, if Eddie scores 3-4 goals, then he doesn't. He has to earn it. But if Eddie keeps playing the way he's been playing lately, the nearly man, yeah, I think Jesus does walk back in.
But Des, you bring up that stat about Jesus not scoring in 10 games before he went to the World Cup.
Yeah.
But then he played for that duration and still went to the World Cup. So is it about Eddie scoring goals, or is it as long as the team is winning, we are as you are, lads? We don't need to change it.
Yeah, because I've said it on the Sunday show, so I'm not going to become a hypocrite or anything like that. I have said if it's not broke, don't try and fix it. But again, most of our goals have come from midfield this season. I think top scorer is Bukayo Saka now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So most of the goals have been totally spread around this season. So do you know what? It's a damned if you do and a damned if you don't kind of situation. Because if you bring Jesus back, you're losing Eddie's goals, and if you don't bring Jesus back and Eddie stops scoring, you're back to square one anyway. So it's kind of like it's a 6-2-3.
Yeah. Tone, do you think if again, I know we're making assumptions here, but if Jesus was to go back into the team, first team straight away, do you think it might upset the balance because we're changing things up when literally actually things have been working? No?
Oh, sorry, that was me. I was talking to myself. Sorry.
Yes. Sorry.
Sorry, I muted myself accidentally. I think not. There's such an integral way in which Arteta likes the team, and I think a lot of people have commented about how Jesus playing up front with him or to the side of him, ability to integrate with other players in the team, making the whole system operate. So I don't see it as a problem when he comes back, putting him back in, because I see it as an overall system. The system will work better. The only thing that needs to happen in goals as part of that system.
Yeah. But I think I've asked this question before, but I don't think I've asked this question to both yourself and Des. Would you prefer to have a bigger group of players scoring goals, or would you prefer to have a prolific striker who will guarantee you 30 plus goals? Des?
Good question. Well, you have to have for me, you have to have a spread of goals for 7 players, right? But you also want a prolific goal scorer. So it's I don't know. Toss a coin in the air and call it. For me personally, goals all around for me, because I think Haaland, as an example, is a prime point of that. He's a goal scoring machine, but unless he gets the balls to him, he doesn't score. He might have only 20 touches a game, and yes, he might score 2 goals, but he needs that service. And let's be honest, Man City are not the team they were last season. Goals all around.
Yeah. For you, Tone, goals all around or prolific striker?
So just to hit on the back of that, I'd like to say City have improved. Even though Haaland has scored a lot of goals, the way they play was better with Gabriel Jesus. So clearly, obviously, with Jesus as their number 9, he's integrated and bringing more players into situations where they can score goals. Haaland, he's not getting that. The team dynamic is different. They're still working. Now they've got this guy who you almost have to keep looking at quickly, and it's affected the whole dynamic of the team. So last year's team, balanced team. This year, Arsenal all in like big numbers, So the goals round more is actually nonsensical because 5 out of 11 players, 5 other outfield players who could score goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Trossard is on 8 goals, even though he's only with us been with 8 goals this season. Martinelli's on 8. Saka's on 9. Odegaard, Gabriel's, Jesus is on 5. Eddie's on 5. So and Eddie together, that's a 10-goal striker because they don't play together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So players who are on 8+ goals, I'm happy with that. Defenders to score goals are plenty. If 5 of my attacking players 10+ goals, because they're all on track to get you 10+ goals. If them are on 8+ goals, then by the end of the season, they should all be on 10. No defenders score, but we do know our defenders score goals.
Yeah.
The one player who I'll turn from is Granit Xhaka. And he started off like he was dried up, his assistant dried up. But, you know, I personally, I'm getting a feeling that now's the time to draw him out and actually replace him with Billy Do.
I would agree.
Even more exciting would be when Emil Smith-Rowe's fit.
The other thing I wanted to say about it as well, Alex, it just popped in my head, sorry. Prolific goal scorer, right? If he scores you 30 goals, that doesn't guarantee you anything. It doesn't guarantee you a league. It doesn't guarantee you a cup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Harry Kane, yeah?
Yeah. Good
Exactly.
point.
Exactly.
Good point.
Season, what did they win?
Yeah. But you know, listen, I know for some reason I tend to talk about Ivan Toney. I'm not sure why.
I'd have that boy in a heartbeat.
But why is that, Des? Why is that?
Because he brings something else. Look at the way the boy look at the way he holds the ball up. Yeah. Look at the way he plays into a defender to get you a free kick in a great position, and he scores goals. I mean, the only way I can describe it is like a ghost. He just appears in the area. He just appears and scores. You don't see Ivan Toney coming at you. He's just there.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, hello, scored, have it. But he holds the ball up, yeah. He knows how to play off a defender. He knows how to play into a defender, and he scores goals. Simple as. And that's why I love him.
I as well. I've been a big Ivan Toney fan. This season has made me even think more that and I've even had to say to myself, you know, someone has to Toney in, and you've obviously got following Balogun coming back with a prolific strike rate. Him, Eddie, and Gabriel Jesus, and Ivan Toney, 4 strikers into that. Somebody's going to have to go. So you have to then, to me, I believe you've got to sell Eddie or you sell following Balogun.
I think it's going to be Balogun, Tony, because what I think they're doing at Reims, right, is getting him ready to sell. That's what I think. Sorry, Alex.
Tough decision. It's a very tough decision. I wouldn't want to make that decision, to be honest.
Hell no.
Eddie,
Hell no. Hell no, mate. Hell no.
Yeah, but football, that's just the way it's business, isn't it, Tone? And the thing is, I don't think he had a fair crack at the whip, and that's Balogun we're talking about. But you know, people talking about comparing the leagues, French league and the Premier League, not comparable for me. Not comparable. You know, and I wouldn't recall him back, let him start there for the complete season. But the two leagues are not comparable. But if you're asking me, I will look to sell Balogun.
Are you going to get 40 or 50 million for him? Aren't you?
Yeah. All right. Sorry, do you want to say anything else, Tone?
No, that's fine.
Yeah. No, I just think Ivan Toney would bring something else. And look how he terrorized Saliba.
Yeah.
He terrorized Saliba. I was thinking, wow, okay, I've never seen Saliba turned over like that. But he would provide something different. You know, when we might be struggling with the way that we play, the system, and Ivan Toney would provide us with something different. But
I mean, I think back to the days of Giroud, and you know, you just was instrumental in players like, you know, scoring tons of goals. You know, his contribution just to me was unheralded. You know, and then a little bit further, you love him or hate him, but I loved Adebayor at Arsenal.
I'm saying nothing.
Do you mind if I go back a cup of tea for a minute?
No. Tone, before we go to the next segment, maybe I'm just probably thinking about it a little bit too simplistic, but you look at the way that Man City plays, and you know his inexperience before he came to Arsenal, Mikel Arteta, was to be the assistant for Pep Guardiola. Is Arteta trying to make Arsenal like Man City, Tony?
It's not a bad team to make your team like, and I think there are definite. I think there's also a little bit of, I'm gonna do it my way. Pep does,
yeah,
and he's tinkered and he's created his own system, Pep 2.0, with a Arteta, you know, remix to it.
Yeah. For you, Des, you want to say something very quickly before going to?
No, I just totally agree with what Tony said. It's not a like for like. It's a like with a slight Arteta twist.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to the next segment. Actually, some people might not like the image I'm about to show, but it's a particular player that we could have brought. Yeah, Mihailo. He's behind bars at Chelsea, or at Chelsea. Now, reason why I want to feature him is that apparently he's not happy at Chelsea. Not happy. Well, mate, you should have come to Arsenal. You should have come to Arsenal. But I'm sorry. If we had the chance again, and if we had the money, Des, and if we were really serious about Mudryk, Des, would you go for Mudryk? No.
Problem that we've got now is I would have had that kid when we were trying to get him. I've said that all along. I think from what I've seen him play the Donetsk, and he's got some skills. But now you look at the team, he'd be a bench warmer again. Where does he fit in?
Yeah.
Well, you know, he just come to Arsenal and he'd sit on the bench because he's not going to get in before Martinelli or so. So do you put him behind Trossard for Saka? I mean, the only option I think he would have, and I don't know if he absolutely works, is behind Trossard or Martinelli for Saka. Xhaka. You know what I mean? I don't see how he fits in, and I feel sorry for him.
I can explain that to you, John. It's very simple. If we had got Trossard, it's as simple as that. It's very soft. Mudryk, we wouldn't have got Trossard. Mudryk would be doing what Trossard is doing now. He lost sufficient form for the manager to say, okay, fella, sit on the bench, I'm playing my other player. Would have been like for like. Mudryk would now be doing what Trossard's doing.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he could do that across the front line. So he could, for instance, take Saka out of the game and say, go on, do your business down the right-hand flank. Or he could move Martinelli to Mudryk down the left. So he's got loads of options because the kid could play anywhere across the front line.
Well, he's
would
not
you go for him then, Tony? Would you go for him then, Tony?
Sorry, pal? I would
have
done, yeah. I mean,
I would have done. You know, but would you go for him now?
I would have done, but you know, it's crying over spilt milk here, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, mate. Salty milk. There's nothing worse than salty milk, mate. No, you're totally right. I mean, at the end of the day, the kid had Arsenal potential. He would have suited Arsenal's system, I think. Like Trossard, you've got to say credit against Trossard. He's come in and he's hit the ground running. And the other thing about Trossard is that we've said it before, but we might say it again. Premier League proven.
Yeah.
Hit the ground running. Fair play to you. You know, Mudryk. The other thing with Mudryk as well, you probably need a season for him to figure out the Premier League.
Yeah. Well, it's not working at Chelsea anyway, is it? It's not working.
He's in prison. He's in prison, mate. He gets 1 hour a week.
Listen, guys. I mean, the worrying thing for me, Chelsea have stockpiled players. Yeah, what they've done is they've gone, okay, we got one chance and one chance only to stockpile players.
Yeah.
They've changed the loophole on a contract 8 years and allowing you to spread it so that it does fit into finance. So Chelsea must have known, if we do it, we better strike now because they might close it. And Chelsea have stockpiled a shed load of players. Yeah, they need players. They can't even name half of them on their European list.
They can't register them, can they? And the other thing as well, I don't know if you. I know you've got loads of sources, Alex, right? But I read something this week that when the war is over in the Ukraine, the next don't mind buying him back. They've offered to buy him back off of Chelsea.
That is what I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
When the war is over in Ukraine, they'll buy him back.
Yeah.
But what I would have said, Des and Tone, is that if we had brought him, I still wouldn't have been happy with the price that we paid for him. I think for me, I know it's modern day football, but at that price, I was thinking, nah, not Premier proven, not for Arsenal, not at that price.
45,
so
50.
what I'd like.
Oh, go on, sorry.
So go ahead, John.
I was just going to say, 45 to 50 million tops.
Yeah. Go on, Tony.
The pricing of players today is, what we have to realise is from the European Super League, we, Arsenal, are the Super League. Yeah? We're in a league where we, in one club, all the other leagues combined. One English club can spend as much money in a summer or a January transfer window as combined.
That's very true.
And that makes you think, when we go shopping, you know what? It's like, if you sell tin cans, Alex, as King Charles comes to your door and says, I want to buy a tin can off you, you're going to raise your price. It's money, it's no object. So hence why we're playing in this now league. Yeah? Now, what you have to realize is everybody's playing the game. Nottingham Forest are spending huge amount. Man United, huge. Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea. This division has huge amounts of money. Bournemouth, Brentford. Nobody here who's shopping basket is Zara clothing. They're all shopping at Dolce & Gabbana. So with that, we have to expect now on that we're going to have to play that premium, because every someone's going to ask, oh, hang on a second, Arsenal will come calling, let's add another 50 million to it. So success. Now, I understand what you're saying. I don't 70 million on a 50 million player, but everybody's now going to have to do that, because United, Man City are all doing the same thing. Anthony, Maguire, that Man United has spent over the necessary amounts of money on, but they played through the roof for.
But Tone, I mean, I don't have the figures. What has Arsenal's net spend been since Arteta has been here? All right, so I understand your argument, but we have not spent nearly as much as these clubs have. Sorry, Tone, go on.
It's an unimportant figure. Basically, how much you spend on players against how much you recoup in sales. Yeah, is how much revenue did the club make? Because the club is making so. Don't forget, Adidas just did a reload. Yeah, the Adidas contract revenue, day-to-day ticket sales at the gate. The money in the Premier League now is so great that those negatives that you as a net spend actually become irrelevant, because Arsenal don't need to sell because the revenues are so high. The club are not losing money at clubs across Europe would be doing if they spent that kind of money.
But Tone, the Des, go on.
No. Finish what you're saying. No.
What I was going to say is that surely when you're buying players for a particular reason. When you buy a player, you're hoping that that player is going to produce something for you, and hopefully that they're going to help you win the league. We are at the top of the league, and we haven't spent nearly as much as your Man Uniteds, Man Cities, your Newcastles, your Nottingham Forests. So we've proven so far we don't have to spend that amount of money on a particular player like Mudryk to get us to the top of the league, although we haven't won it yet. So we've not gone crazy just yet, Tone, have we? But I understand the point.
This is we have gone crazy. Let's not forget that we have spent 72 million on Pepe. Not forget the exorbitant amounts of money we spent on Mesut Ozil. Let's not forget we spent on Mustafi. Players who came for big money and didn't do. We won an FA Cup during their time, but the point is we've been down that, and the club haven't gone out of business. Yeah. So we haven't spent a 72 million on a player. If we suddenly decide to spend 72 million, and we're worth it, because the money generated from the Champions League will last immediately.
Yeah.
Literally immediately. Don't say now in a 3-shirt generation. Yeah. After release 3 years. Do you remember how it used to be? The away shirt, the home shirt. The away shirt,
that's
the
it.
home shirt.
You didn't even have a training shirt, did you?
You didn't. Yeah. You just had one shirt to buy to the shop. You got to buy your kids 3 kits, and you got 4 other kits come out during the same. So the revenues are massive at Arsenal. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you nothing. Yeah. I was with the guy who runs the hospitality at Tottenham Hotspur the other day. They made 1.9 billion game on hospitality.
Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
Every home game. They serve their own beer. Yeah, that they make in the ground, and they sell it. Yeah, in the entire surrounds of Tottenham. So guess what that does?
Wow.
Prefer to go in the ground where they can get cheap beer. Yeah. What would you do if you went to Arsenal and the beer was cheap, but then the outside? You'd go
common sense.
in the ground, wouldn't you?
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. I mean, Newcastle's got its own nightclub.
Cheaper, their chips are cheaper. They've made sure that all their fans want for the game, doing their buying in the ground, and hence their money has gone.
Des, I know you've been bursting to get in, Des.
So I love Tony's passion, and he's right. But the way I see it as well, right? Okay, we are quite sensible when it comes to times. Yes, I know there was a 72 million for Pepe. Panic buy. I think it was a panic buy, but anyway. But look at the bargains we have got, Tony, right? Jesus, Zinchenko, right? Got them at a bargain price.
Martinelli,
yes. Saka, yeah. The front row, Eddie, bargain prices. I know you can say, but they're brought through the academy and all that, but they're going to make us money, right? And the thing is, I totally agree with you what you're saying. The market for players has been absolutely blown open. destroyed. Yeah, destroyed. And I tell you now, right? I'm quite looking forward to seeing this Jivior, the defender, Polish kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I don't think we'll see him until European games, to be honest with you. But he's going to make us money, guys, because the potential that they're talking about this lad, the sky's the limit. All right, believe of that what you wish, because at the end of the day, that's what we do as fans. But they're saying that his ceiling is, well, they're saying it surpasses Saliba. But you know,
the funny thing I would say in relation to that statement is, do I for cheap and sell them for more? Not really. I'd rather we buy players and they didn't make money on them, because if we buy a player and he has his best years at Arsenal, like a Tony Adams, he comes to the club, he plays his entire career at Arsenal. Tony had 100 million, but he stayed his whole entire career at the club. Do we bemoan the fact that, hell to the no, we're the best defender in the land for his entire career? I have that. I don't want Bukayo Saka to be sold for 150 million to any, so we won't realise the profit margin that he could be worth to us. Now,
Tony, I know what you're saying. I know. Hold on, mate. I know what you're saying, and you're right. But at the end of the day, that's the business of football. You usually buy players to get 5-8 years out of them, and then sell them at a profit. Now, I know. I get you. I don't want Saka to go anywhere. I don't want Emil Smith-Rowe to go anywhere. I don't want Martinelli to go anywhere. I mean, I could spiel off a load of players here, brother. But at the end of the day, that's the football business. Whether we like it or we don't, that's how the club thinks.
But and also
what I'm happy to do. Sorry, Alex. Very quickly, happy to sell Iwobi for 30 million. I'm happy to sell Joe Willock for 13. So players who we've got for nothing, and just keep getting a 30 million. If we get 40, 50 million, I'm happy with that. I don't need to buy and expect to sell him for more money than I bought him. So I'm trying. It swings around about saying it. You got to buy some at an inflated price, knowing their value. Sometimes you have a good bunch of youngsters who you're just going to develop, and they're going to bring money if you develop them the right way.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Sorry, Alex.
No, go on there.
I'll tell you what Pepe taught us, mate. We needed better scouts. We needed better, because that was down to a scout that we paid 72 million for him. So we need better. Arsenal need better scouts.
I don't think that was better scouting. I think the kid was phenomenal in France before. The problem was the skullduggery of Mislintat. Mislintat had blown there by pocketing a load of that deal. That should have been a 50 million transcript value of Pepe at the time. But Mislintat made 20 million for himself out of that deal, which was a travesty.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
But Tony, I think even if it was like 50 million pounds we bought Pepe for, I still would have felt shortchanged. And I think going back full circle about Mudryk, I think that's why another reason why we didn't go for Mudryk, because we got burnt.
But hang on, Alex.
Yeah.
Pepe in his first season at Arsenal and won you the FA Cup.
Yeah.
How are you complaining? I know it's not 72 million pounds worth, but that doesn't mean he's a scrub. He's not a bad player. He's not a bad player.
Then what's happened to him?
He's not worth a player. Trust me.
So then what is the issue then? Why has he been loaned out? Why is it that he
fell out with Arteta? There was clearly something where the whole forward, we've seen Aubameyang go, we've seen Lacazette go, they go out on loan. There's clearly Guendouzi. Imagine if we'd have we bought him for nothing, literally. And now he's worth 40, 50 million. There was a difference of opinion or something between him and Arteta. And that's what's happened to Pepe. He's not a bad player. He's not 72 million worth, but not a bad player.
Tony, you'd be a brilliant agent, mate. You'd be an absolute brilliant agent.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, that's controversial. Do you know what? Let's go into a live chat and see, kind of catch up who's been with us for the last 40 odd minutes. Who do we have here? So John the Geezer Gooner, top the show. First commented, even Gooners, Gunners, and Arsenal fans around the world. And we've got, actually, there's your brother, Colin. Says, let's go. Aubameyang ain't showing up, Alex. What's he saying that for?
Is he watching a different show? Colin, what are you doing?
I haven't mentioned him.
Oh, exactly.
Oh dear! Now
Colin's watching an old show. Colin's watching an old show. He hasn't caught up yet.
Hey, Gooners, welcome to Cannon Boy TV. Easy talk with Alex and the Crazy Gang. Enjoy, and remember to hit that like button. Don't hit it, just gently touch it. Don't hit it.
You'll break it. Don't break it.
Yeah, don't break it. Don't break it. First lady of Cannon Boy TV, Ange. Evening, Cannon for the crew. Evening, Des and Tony. And she goes on to say that we'll all celebrate when he signs on the dotted line. No comment. I think we missed ESR. He's been really unlucky and maybe at the back of the queue now. Tony, the back of the queue?
I don't think he can be, because when you consider that Arteta, he's not blessed with loads of options. And now with European football, two football games a week, you need players like ESR to do a job. You know, so there's no doubt in my mind. He's not at the back of Arteta's mind. He's got to rest those players.
I saw him in training this week, Alex, and he looks really comfortable. He looks back to his normal self. Yeah. So
can he stay injury free though? That's his issue, isn't it? He needs to stay injury free.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
Anyway.
Fingers crossed.
Colin says Alex is going to throw some shade on Thomas. No comment. We've got Jorginho now as backup, but need Jesus and yes, John, ESR is back in the game.
Quick question about Jorginho before you go on with that next comment. Quick question about Jorginho. You know when he had that shot and he was putting the arms up, yeah? In fairness, would Partey have took that shot?
Oh, yeah.
And would he... You reckon? Yeah, but would he have... But there you go, Tony. Tony, I've got you. Would he have hit it? Would he have hit the target, Tony? Come on, Tony. Would he have hit it?
Hang on. Has Jorginho scored a goal for Arsenal yet?
Come on, Tony.
Hold on, Tony. Have it, mate. I'll tell you what happened, Tony. This is a quick story, right? I'll tell you what happened, right? Alex and Eltel sent me to Aston Villa last Saturday, right? To have a word with Agent Emmy, right? And I turned up. I says, Emmy, Eltel and Alex have sent me, right? And if you don't score one of your legendary goalkeeper headers today, there's going to be trouble, mate. And I even showed him a picture of Eltel, and he said, God, I'm doing it, don't worry.
Yes, is a controversy.
We can get it in there. I knew we'd get it in there somewhere, boys. I knew we'd
Oh, dear. John asked a question. Are we still signing Tillemans, Tony or Des?
No, that's long gone.
That's not happening,
man. I think that ship has sailed.
Yeah.
I think it's sailed and sunk.
Especially when you consider that we've just re-signed El Neni.
Yeah.
Controversial for you, Tone?
Not really.
No, he's a team player. Not for me either, Alex. He's a team player.
Yeah, likewise. Barbers.
We signed El Neni. We got Jorginho. I think I cleared the decks for Declan Rice. There was a rumour out today of us being potentially interested in Jude Bellingham. I'm taking one of them two, and I'm happy. Bellingham or Declan Rice, and that's me done. The next up.
Right.
But I also believe that Vieira comes into his own next year.
It's going to have to, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Vieira.
Yeah. But I agree with Tony. I think he will, Alex. He's so. Did you see him when I'm telling you, the pass to Martinelli was pinpoint, right? And he was celebrating on his knees. And you know what? I think Fabio loves this club. I really do.
I think they all do. They all do. They all do. Barber says, in the absence of Partey, oh, here we go. Our defense is exposed. Jorginho, not defensive minded.
Our defensive.
He's not defensive minded enough to shield the defense. But if he's not fully fit, Jorginho must marshal that area again. Just one more before we go on to the last segment. We've got DWTT in the house. This is hello.
Gary.
There's an echo. Hello. And one more from Arsenal Alex. It's not me, by the way, another channel. Make sure you hit the like button and donate to the channel. Although you don't have to, but we would like. No, you don't have to. You don't have to. So, lads, we're actually back in action tomorrow against the Foxes. And my brother's going to be doing a watch along tomorrow. I think he's kicking off at 2:45. Tony, are you guys doing a watch along on the channel?
Will be. Yeah, we will be. I think.
Do you have the link? Can you drop the link into the live chat?
I can't now. I don't have the link.
All right. Okay. I tried. But do you have the link for the channel?
I tried. I'll put the link in.
Yeah, at least. Anyway. So yeah, we're back in action tomorrow. Leicester City. I don't know. I'm not going to ask you for a prediction, but
if you want a prediction, I'll give you a prediction. I've got no problem with it.
Yeah.
But after the last 4 or 5 games, we've had the best defence at the start of the season, but now I think we need to work on our defence. Our defence needs to sort something out. 2-1. I think it's going to be pretty close. 2-1 I'm going to go for, because Iheanacho's been on form. I've got, what's his name back? Mason? No, is it Mason?
Who's that?
Madison. I couldn't remember his name.
Oh, Madison. Yeah.
Madison back. So he can change the game, but I still think it's going to be about 2-1, mate.
2-1. Tony, for you, game tomorrow, Leicester City.
Go on, Tony, you can do it.
I mean, one in it because they found their feet a little bit of late, but their XG's against is low. So I'm going for an Arsenal 3-1.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, there's a link for Arsenal. What is it? Is it 1-1 on Arsenal? Anyway, the link is in the live chat. Go over there and make sure that you do subscribe. Methinks that it's going to be a collaboration between Apollo's channel, 1-1 on Arsenal, whatever, and us and some other content creators sometime soon. But I'll go over there and make sure that you do subscribe. Right, so Emerson actually has said that he reckons it's going to be a 3-1 to the Arsenal. And Colin says, Alex won't say it. What? Des waffled through the Jesus Eddie question. Come on, Des. I expect you to bring it. What?
I did. Hold on. I did bring it. Yeah. What more do you want? What more do you want? My brother from another mother. What are you on about? Yeah.
And DWTD says, tin cans for sale. Tony tin cans for sale. Oh, dearie me. You know what? Let me just run through this last comments before we wrap up this one here. Pesci, good evening, says, the window is a long time. Let's concentrate in winning games and maybe winning the league. And John says, in response to Pesci, mate, you are bang on, mate. Let's do this. Going backwards here, Colin says, the manager that has delivered is top of the league. Currently wanted at Mudryk. Do you guys don't back Mikel Arteta's talent? What? Do you guys don't back Mikel Arteta's talent ID. I'm not sure what's he talking about, Des?
I can't even decide.
I think he's saying exactly what he said. I think he's saying that the team had identified Mudryk as their main target. It looked like they went all out for Mudryk, didn't get, left floundering trying to find an alternative. Now we've got, we were lucky, and I think that's a more than capable replacement. But I think, when you can say though, and we muffled, and we've got a last minute deal with Jorginho, who would, has so far not been the worst thing in the world, but be happy with that decision. I think we needed to upgrade that particular part of the pitch, and obviously be that upgrade in the summer should we get him over the other guy.
Casado all right. Casado all right.
If I had to trade him,
wow.
Casado.
Yeah.
Alex?
I think you just say.
I probably would have gone for Rice. I mean, out of the two, I think Rice would be probably a lot more expensive, but Rice for me, rather than Moises Caicedo. Tom, you spoke about Granit Xhaka. This is what I wanted to ask you. So you spoke about Granit Xhaka, that maybe it might be a time to kind of withdraw him. But do you not think he's when we don't hear about Granit Xhaka, doing silly tackles or doing something silly, does that not mean that we're going in the right direction anyway? So is there any real need to withdraw him from the first team, Tony?
Yeah, because what you have to look at is the way Martin on the right-hand side behind Saka and Nketiah. Yeah? You're literally looking inside of the pitch, but it doesn't work the same way because effectively Xhaka is playing in, and the difference between Odegaard and Xhaka is chalk and cheese. Same kind of penetration. We're not getting that same dynamism from that particular role that Odegaard plays. So for me, as Colin says, I'm looking to say thank you very much for your years of service. You got your FA Cup winners medal. Hopefully you got a Premier League. But I need an upgrade on that position. I need someone in that position who's as dynamic on the side of the pitch.
Yeah.
And that they work together in tandem to make us a more dynamic pitch.
And for you, Des,
I think he's good at what he does defensively, and as a captain in the team, I wouldn't want to lose those. So whoever comes in has got to be able to do that at the same time.
Des. Sell Granit Xhaka, keep him, because some people think he's a legend. No comment.
Sorry, that's delayed laugh. Well, no, hold on. I will say this. Lately, he's looked a bit tired. Yeah, and I think we need to give him a break. Put him on the bench for three or four games. Yeah. No, do you know what? He's Arsenal's controversial player of this era because obviously the way he treats the fans. But this season, he's absolutely done a 180. He's playing like I've never seen him play before. And I think he does deserve some credit. But is his time at Arsenal up? Possibly. Because it's all about the age of the player as well with Arteta, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
maybe, and I think his contract ends at the end of 2024. It's a time where you have to do I give him an extension?
Yeah, I think it does. I don't think they'll offer him an extension like they've offered El Neni. I think when his contract's up, that'll be it. I think Xhaka will go. But I know he's a cog in this team this season. There's something that he's doing, and let's be honest, guys. There's 4 games, maybe 5 games this season. He should have got a red card, but he hasn't. He's behaved himself.
Yeah.
There's still time for him to get the 10 goals that I said he might get, Alex.
Oh yeah. No comment.
I tell you what, mate, I'll have a drink on that one.
Yeah. I tell you what, mate. I tell you what. We'll all have one. We'll all have one. But do you see what I mean? As a fan base, do we forgive? I mean, obviously we don't forget. But do we forgive? Because at the end of the day, this season, he's kind of paid us back. Do you know what I mean? It all comes down to your own. It all comes down to everybody in the chat. The three of us lads here, we're talking about it, but it all comes down to opinions, and it's your opinion of that player. Yeah, like we won't agree with Tony. Me and you won't agree with Tony about Pepe, but he makes good points about Pepe that I haven't even considered. So it's make up your own mind on Xhaka. Do you know what I mean? That's all I can say.
Yeah. Well, there's been a couple of funny, humorous comments. The X-Man deserves a statue, according to, John the Geezer, outside my house. No thanks. That's not happening.
As a water feature.
All right. Wait, have you got the Michael Jackson statue I've been missing lately?
Add to the collection, Alex. Add it to the collection.
And here it is.
If you love
Oh, dear. Do you know what, guys? We'll come to an end on this easy talk. I tried to make it controversial. It just didn't work.
I think we did. Yeah,
Okay,
I think we did.
I think there was something there.
Yeah, just a little
Alex,
bit. Just a little bit.
If I may, I'd like to of condolence to the family of John Motson. Obviously, we lost a great beacon of light in the footballing world yesterday. I'm particularly close to John. There you have it. Well done, Alex. I played for John Motson's football team for about 15 years, called Rowe, interestingly. And he was one of the nicest fellas ever. Not for him, but the last one he ever wore for Match of the Day, I made that coat for him. So he did actually mention he's on my social medias. And I just got to say, one of the nicest fellas in greater footballing brain have I never met. The man knew everything.
Yeah.
Mate,
Passed away.
Rest in peace.
There'll never be another.
There'll
never be another sheepskin like it, Tony. There'll never be another sheepskin coat like it, mate. Honestly, the man was a genius.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we did a short segment about him yesterday. Actually, maybe you're not aware, but John Motson passed away, age 77. Leaves behind his wife and son, Frederick, and may his soul rest in peace. So that is it. Another Easy Talk, done and dusted. And Des, bring it, bring it.
I tell you, mate. But Colin to say that I haven't brought it, I'm heartbroken. But can I just say, this has been one of my best Easy Talks ever, and it's been a privilege to be on here with you guys. And the chat's been amazing. And let's do it again sometime, because I really enjoyed it.
Absolutely. And Tone, how are you going to spend your weekend apart from maybe drinking some wine, maybe, or I don't know?
Yeah, well, ginger beer this evening, but I'm looking forward to the game. To hopefully, we'll do the business and keep ourselves, at the top of the table. Gives me a good start to the week, and obviously we've got the opportunity should further ahead in the midweek when we play our game in hand against Everton at home. So hopefully.
Brilliant. So there you go. Before we leave, guys, make sure that you do click on the link and go over and subscribe. What's wrong, Des?
Sorry, I've just seen a comment from Gary. He says, Des, your most favourite Easy Talk was of me, wasn't it? Do you know what? I love all of them, but tonight has been special. Yeah,
Brilliant. Really, really, really happy to hear that. So that is it. That's the end there. The guys are likely lads. You see the guys very, very soon. You want to see Tony, who'll be on his channel, Arsenal 101 Arsenal, and Des will be somewhere bringing it somewhere in Newcastle.
I will, mate.
All right. And that's it. And then you've been watching. What have you been watching? What you've been watching, Callum, for the channel for Arsenal fans all over
the